I'm back with another DIY tutorial that my Facebook group talked me into doing. The tea gown design is flowy and fun. It has pockets and the back is completely adjustable. As always, you can find the pattern with pieces and written instructions on my website. Let's get right into it. First, we cut our pieces. When you're finished cutting, you should have one front piece that's cut on the fold, 2 mirrored back pieces, 4 optional pocket pieces, 2 binding pieces, and 2 ties. Don't forget to cut around the pocket placement notches if you're adding pockets. First step is to sew the 2 tie pieces right sides together at one short edge and press the seam. Then fold the short raw edges in 1/2 inch and press on both ends. Now fold the tie in half long ways and press the full length of the tie so that there's a crease. Then fold the top and bottom raw edges to that center crease and press those creases too. So now you have a total of 3 creases. Fold the tie along the original center crease and sew all the way around it. Or if you're like me and your fabric is being a huge pain in the ass and you're about to throw the machine and the fabric in a road ditch, just sew one seam along the folded side. As long as the raw edges are enclosed in the tie, you're good. Now we'll sew the optional pockets. Place the dress pieces right sides up and align the pocket piece at the edge between the placement notches. Sew along the straight edge of the pocket and do that on all 4 dress edges. Then you'll press your seams so that they lay nice and flat. Now we can sew the side seams. Place the front and back pieces right sides together and align the side edges and the pockets. Sew down the side and then around the pockets. If you didn't add pockets, you'll just sew straight seams down both sides of the dress. Finish the seams and then press those too. Now you'll press creases in the binding pieces just like you did for the tie. Next, we'll be gathering the arm curves. You can gather them with any technique you like. I just crank up my tension and set a long stitch length on my machine because I'm usually in a rush and I'm unhinged. Now place the gathered edge along the binding. The right side of the binding should be facing the wrong side of the dress. You just sew along that top memory crease using 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then you can flip your dress over so that the right side is facing you and then fold the memory creases down until the seam allowance is enclosed and sew 1/8 of an inch away from the gathers on the binding. This is what your arm curves should look like now. Next, we'll finish the rest of the raw edges minus the hemline. So you'll finish the edge up one side, then along the angled back edge, across the top of the front of the dress, down the other angled side, and down the other side with either a serger or a zigzag stitch. Then you'll sew casings for the tie by folding the 2 angled edges back and the top front edge over 1 inch towards the wrong side of the fabric, and then sew like 1/8 of an inch away from the finished edges. So now you'll have a finished edge side, an angled casing, the arm binding, then a casing at the top front of the dress, another arm binding, and then another angled casing, and finally a finished side edge. Now fold the whole dress in half right sides together and line up the angled casings and the finished side edges. Starting where the seam stops on the casing, sew down the full length of the side edge using about a 1 inch seam allowance. Then you'll press that seam open. You can hem the bottom of the dress any way you want to using a 1 inch hem allowance. I fold the fabric back 1/2 inch twice and sew, but you can serge and fold it once too, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you press your hem. Now we just have to thread the tie through. So find the seam on the tie and use the chart in the pattern to find what length you need. Mine is 4.5 inches, so I marked my tie 4.5 inches away from the seam. Then attach a safety pin to the other side of the tie and thread it through the front casing from right to left until the pin or clip hits the arm binding. The seam of the tie should now be inside the casing. Then just tack stitch the binding to secure the tie in place at that side. Now yank that tie through the casing so the seam comes out the other side and measure the same amount and mark it again. Then slide the tie back through until the mark hits the binding again and tack stitch that into place. Now all that's left is to run the ends of the ties through the back angled edges on either side from the binding and out through the back. Once that's done, you can just adjust the tie to your preference and tie it in a bow in the back and enjoy your new lounge dress. I hope this video was helpful, and I can't wait to see new custom tea gowns and fun fabric prints hit my feed. Make sure you tag me so that I see them and I can share, and thanks for watching.